Hi, this is Anthony Lighthall. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast entitled From Dreams to Actions, where we talk about positive business goals, promoting positive energy, and following your dreams. On today's episode, we're going to discuss staying positive and managing your energy levels. So let's get into it. So, I wanted to start off this podcast with mentioning a few individuals in our lifetime or prior to us that have made an impact in lives of others. And now these are just a handful, but there are plenty more people out there that you can definitely think about. But I wanted to focus on these five or six people at this time. So the first person I wanted to discuss today is Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first self-made millionaire and actually got her riches from producing and selling hair products for African Americans. The next person I wanted to discuss is the rapper Eminem. As we all know, white rapper from Detroit, Michigan, and is probably, I would say, rated as one of the top five rappers in his generation. Henry Ford. Anyone who drives may know of Henry Ford with the Model T. So being the first person to produce a car in production, and the reasons why we have cars today. The Wright brothers, if you've ever been on an airplane, these are the brothers you should be thanking. They are the ones who, still to this day, we are able to fly, whether it's for business, international, or domestic travel. And I focused on these individuals because I wanted to take a look at them and their goals. And starting off, before I kind of deep dive into their stories, these individuals had passions or dreams that a lot of people probably didn't foresee, or they probably labeled them as crazy, or no, you would never be able to do that. So that's the reason for calling these individuals out as I kind of go through their story in a snippet really quick. So let's go back to Eminem. So individuals who don't know who Eminem is, Marshall Mathers, who was a individual, a person who grew up in a lower income community in Detroit, Michigan. And he was a white rapper. And I mention his ethnicity because rapping back then, and still to this day, is more of an African American dominated culture. And so back then in the 90s, when Eminem was rapping and coming out, he was one of the only white rappers that really got respected, as he continued in the ranks, we'll say. So Eminem was discovered by Dr. Dre, who I would say, as a hip hop not artist, hip hop enthusiast and lover of that culture, I would say Dr. Dre is one of the founding fathers of rap, uh, with the group of NWA. So that was really big when he was discovered by Dr. Dre. It's like that's where he got his endorsement. Okay, if Dre likes Eminem, okay, let me start listening to this rapper. And so Eminem started to become popular as a rapper, and then Eminem discovered 50 Cent, and then, followed the same path as Eminem. And then again, as I said, Eminem was probably either one of the greatest or top, rated artists in the hip hop culture or hip hop community. The next person I wanted to discuss was Henry Ford. As I mentioned to you all, born in 1863. Henry Ford, he was also born in Michigan as well. And then at the early age of 12, he built his first steamer, which actually uh, encouraged him to really get into mechanics at an early age and also into machines, and then started his journey with Ford Motor Company back in the early 1900s. Then we have the Wright brothers. With these individuals, they started also in the early 1900s. Two brothers, who had a goal of having some type of machine or device to go in the air and to fly like a bird. And as I mentioned today, we still use this device, as we call an airplane, for leisure travel, for business travel, and for anything else that we need to use an airplane for. And then lastly, going back to Madam C.J. Walker, again, self-made millionaire who back in the day, there weren't any hair products for African Americans, specifically for Black women. And so Madam C.J. Walker, she created, I'll say, the recipe for hair products for African Americans, and that's how she got her riches, being a safe, self-made millionaire back in her day as well. So again, mentioning these individuals, they had dreams and passions that were way before their time. They were just ahead of the game, I'll say, with what they wanted to do and how they wanted to go about pursuing this. Um, so it's safe to assume that they had doubters, or AKA, as we say, haters. People who probably didn't believe in their dream, people who didn't didn't support them, who were not their cheerleader. So they definitely had those adversities and those challenges that they had to go against, during this time of reaching their goals. And for you specifically, especially with this podcast, you may have those same aspirations and goals. You may be ahead of your time, and we don't even know it yet until the next 5 years, to the next 15 years. And you could say, back in whatever year this is, which is 2023, I had this dream of doing XYZ, and now look at it flourish at this time when I had no one to back me up and no one was actually cheering me on. So with these individuals, it's the same thing. You may have people that are patting you on the back saying, good job and keep it up. But you also may have those haters that are doubting you and not believing in your dreams and what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. So one thing that I practice myself and I would also suggest is protecting your energy. When you ask for different opinions, you're going to get different opinions, whether you like them or not. So definitely be very conscious and cautious on getting approval from other people. As an example, do you like this? What did you think about it? Was it good? If you're producing, let's say you're trying to be an artist and you're producing a song, or you're a singer, or maybe it's some type of food. You're a chef or a baker, and every time you make something, you're asking, is it good? Did you like it? You're always asking for feedback. You're really asking for that permission. Like, yeah, this was good. You should keep it up. And honestly, it may not taste really good if you're, making some type of dish. So, be careful of getting too much permission from people, and just, stay focused and do what you believe. Continue, with that passion, and just stay focused. I think that's really important, and that helps to protect your energy at all times. And that actually shows your worth, and also that gives you that confidence to continue on when you're able to stay focused in whatever you're trying to do at that given time. I wanted to give an example of being dumped. So think, have you ever been dumped before or been through a really bad breakup? Give you a few seconds to think and kind of recall that bad time. So of course, when you think about being dumped, it's never fun. Your world is just crushed, especially if it's a surprise. That's the worst. So you're like, what am I going to do? My world revolved around this person, and vice versa, apparently. I'm going to have to go out in the dating scene again. And I'm going to, what do I do? I don't really hang out with my friends like I used to, and they probably have significant others. It's just a lot of questions and a lot of stress that you add to yourself, during that time of a breakup. But it's never fun, and you kind of add to that energy. But the thing is, it's the same thing with life and our choices that we make, and sometimes our path. It really doesn't go the way that we envision, and sometimes that can add stress as well, to you when you have, a goal or something that you're trying to accomplish, whether it's by yourself or with someone else. And so a few things that I would encourage and things that I practice and try to continue to practice is Positive affirmations. I think these are really important before you start your day, before you get your coffee, before you eat breakfast, even before you wash your face and get out of bed. When you sit up in bed, before you put those house shoes on, those slippers or socks or whatever you walk around in your place, say some positive affirmations to yourself because it's really going to go a long way to get your mind in a positive mindset, in a positive state, and surrounding yourself with positive energy by yourself. It's going to be very helpful and very critical. And just as a few examples with some positive affirmations, you wake up and you say, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm it. I am that person. I'm an awesome person. Just saying saying that to yourself. Or some people like saying this in the mirror. They look at themselves and it's really that confidence booster that really helps them. So whether it's by yourself and you close your eyes and you say it, or you're looking in the mirror and you say it. Another one is today is my day. Like this is it. This is my day today. Nothing's gonna knock me off my equilibrium. Nothing's gonna phase me. I'm gonna have that positive energy. Today is my day. The next one is no one will stop me. So this one's really good. This one's pretty bold because you're like, no matter what happens, no one's gonna stop me. I'm not gonna have anyone stop me in my place. I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna continue to achieve. No one's gonna stop me. The last one I really like is I will face this adversity and challenge ahead. Like I'm ready for it. It's really like yelling out to the universe, whatever obstacle, whatever challenge you have, I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Because here's the thing, that's really a bold statement because when you think about it, you probably will get faced with something that is going to stop you from doing something that you really want to achieve and that you're passionate about for that day. And it's just kind of just the negative energy or the universe, whatever you want to call it, that's kind of stopping you. And you're calling out to that enemy, whoever or whatever it is, bring it on. Let me see what you got. Because that determines the people that are going to be the quitters or the people that are leaders that are going to get through that challenge and get and surpass that challenge. And you may feel defeated. It may defeat you, but you're not going to lose. Losing, you're always learning. And are you going to be that person? And you're going to always win. So you have to put yourself in that mindset. So I really like that last one with really calling out those obstacles and those challenges, that you're going to be faced today that you don't even know where they're going to come from. If it's going to be a person, if it's going to be a thing, it's going to be whatever, you're really just kind of calling it out. So on the other side of this, having some positive affirmations, but also the positive side of things with what you're consuming. This is a real big one. And I'm going more into the mindset, what you feed your mind, what you're watching, what you're saying is going to be really crucial. And I'm going to use social media as an example. So, following positive energy, following, let's say, um, nature, something that's just very calm, very positive, following financial gurus, people that are really helping you and teaching you about how to save and how to invest your money, how to save for retirement, uh, following leaders, not the pop culture, but leaders who are making a difference, who are really helping out people in need. I think that really helps and speaks volumes with your social media, being able to kind of um, follow these individuals or just follow these themes. That really helps with promoting positive energy. Now, on the flip side, there's a lot of negative energy on social media, and you're the person who is in control of that because you can easily let that in. When you see different shows and there's a lot of arguing, uh, uh, women fighting over a man, that's not even theirs. They're not even with him or they're not even married to him or engaged to him. And they're just bickering. They're just back and forth arguing. That's really negative, positive energy or positive, or excuse me, negative energy, not positive energy. That's negative energy. Um, Also people that, or maybe just things like the universe, you're just, a lot of people, a good example is the news. People talk about the news a lot where some people don't even watch the news, whether it's world news or whether it's local news in your community. And depending on where you live, Your local news could be very depressing, with violence, with drugs, with uh, deaths, with whatever the case. Just think of anything that's negative that could be part of your local community news. So, making sure that you protect yourself from that negativity, because you don't want to feed that into your body. And then that can also feed off that negative energy when you're with other people. So be just very conscious of that on what you follow and who you follow. And these people could be people you don't know, or they could honestly be your friends and family. There's that negative aunt, that always posts things that is just negative. Why would you post something like that? Or you have that cousin that maybe is very positive, and they're talking about their travels and what they're doing, and they started a business and work is going well. You want to applaud that. That's great. And that actually helps you to not compare yourself, but also to be inspired by that family member. So again, social media or even TV, anything. I just use social media as an example, but there's so much negativity that you really have to really weed out the positive side of things and really follow that for your positive mindset. Okay. So continuing on here, another example I wanted to give was, the title of this episode in regards to your energy levels is also your overall energy, mentally, physically type of energy. And that's what I want to get into with this example. So I always think of my body as a cell phone. Not that I'm a huge app that you're downloading, but in the terms of energy, your phone, when it's fully charged, is at 100%. If anyone knows any phone that when you charge it all the way, it's at 110% or 200%, let me know. But honestly, there's not. It's at 100%, just like with your laptop, your tablets, whatever device, it's always at 100%. Okay. So think of yourself as a cell phone for this example. When you get charged at night, you're not getting plugged in like you're a Tesla, but sleep is your charge. Sleep is your outlet. And when you sleep, let's say average 7 to 10 hours, if you can get that, that's when you wake up and you're 100%. You ever go to bed at a decent, an appropriate time at night, and you get a good rest and you wake up and you're like, wow, I feel good. You kind of stretch and stuff. You're like, oh, I'm feeling good. That's because you're at 100%. You charge yourself really good. So that's great. You should do that all the time if you can. Some people can't, and unfortunately, you get 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, and you wake up groggy. You're like, oh my goodness, I didn't sleep too well, or the bed's not comfortable, something. Just kept waking up, hearing sirens, whatever the case. And you didn't sleep well, and you feel very like low with energy. It's a drag to get out of bed. But let's be on the positive side, and let's say you get 100% charged and you get a good amount of sleep, right? So now let's switch it over and talk about your cell phone. Your cell phone gets 100%, or you charge it to 100%. You have apps on there. What can a phone do? Everything. You're shopping, you're getting groceries, you're ordering food, you're looking at your bank account, you're trading stocks, you are ordering a ride, you're talking on the phone, you're texting on the phone, communication, everything, right? So that phone is using a lot of energy. You're directing that phone's energy to do different things. Okay, you're playing a game while you're commuting to work. That's taking 20% of the energy, or 20%. Let's say you're at work, um, and you're on your phone, you know, conducting calls, with different um businesses or potential customers. That's using energy. Using your phone for email, taking up energy. Then you get home and you're talking to your favorite cousin. That's using the phone's energy. Now, let's say that there's an emergency and you haven't been charging your phone all day, and you have to pick up your kid, and let's say they got into like an accident while playing soccer and they broke their thumb, and you have to rush and you have to take them to the emergency room and everything, and you only have 10% left on your phone. So now you wasted all this energy on your phone and you only have 10% left. You may not have enough energy to call the coach and see where your kid is at, or to, call, let's say, your spouse and say, hey, so and so's, I'm taking them to the hospital, or, calling that sibling and letting them know. You need that phone needs that energy. So just like with yourself, it's the same thing. You have to make sure that you protect your energy and make sure you save enough energy for any emergency or anything that may happen. You may have friends that say, hey, it's my friend's birthday. We're going to go out to brunch, and then we're going to go out at night to the bar or to the club. And they're going to do two of those things in one day, on a Saturday. And you may want to do it, but you also know you have other obligations or other responsibilities you probably have to do during that day. So maybe you say no to both, or maybe you just say yes to one of them. Okay, I'll do the brunch, but I don't know if I'm going to go out at night because, I have other things I have to do. Or you just don't want to because you want to kind of conserve your energy for those things. And I'm just using this as an example because your body, again, is like a cell phone. It's 100%. You're not going to be able to, we're not meant to be nonstop going 24 hours a day. You can when you're kind of getting to like the military training and things that they do. They really train you and exhaust your body. But we're really not made to do that. We shouldn't be doing that. That we're not performing at our um, normal state, or at our best, as we should say. So all in all, I'm just saying, conserve that energy. Your body is like a cell phone, and it needs to rest. It needs to get charged. It needs to get replenished so that you can, continue on your day appropriately. Okay. A couple more examples in regards to stress and energy. I'm gonna use two examples. It's gonna incorporate driving, traffic, accidents, things like that. So you're in the car, you're on your way to work, and you're stuck in traffic. Okay. Now, a lot of times traffic you can't control. There might be an accident, there might be something with an 18-wheeler in the middle of the road, or um, someone uh, may just be slowing down the traffic because someone's pulled, this happens all the time. Someone's pulled over by the police, or they're just police, uh, not sirens, but the lights are on and people just like slow down the traffic. And you're like, really? Come on now. So anything could happen. But basically, this example is in regards to being in traffic, and you get frustrated because, you left at a certain time to get to work on time, but something happened. And then you're frustrated and you're using all this energy while being in traffic. And then those people that get to work and they're just like in a bad mood, or they just unload on you um, in regards, oh my gosh, I was in traffic, for 15 minutes. I left on time. This happens all the time when it really doesn't. People just always say that. This always happens to me when I'm trying to get to work early and blah, 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 blah. And they just like unload all this negative energy on you because they use so much energy in that during that traffic, when they could have tried to look at it in a positive sense. Hey, this is for me to slow down, or maybe this is stopping me from getting into an accident, or I hope those people are okay in that accident, if that was the case, for being in traffic. A lot of different things where people can change that negativity into something positive. Okay. So the next example is still using the example of going to work and driving, but now there's no traffic. Traffic is light. Maybe it's like this usually happens a day before a holiday. And if you have to go into work or whatever, or maybe a week, a holiday week, and traffic's really light. So you're just like flying, you're speeding, and you get into an accident, and so then all that energy that you probably would have used being in traffic is now energy that you're using for being in this accident. And this accident's huge. Your car's totaled. You're okay, and the person that you hit is okay, or whatever you hit is fine. But now you're using all this energy with this situation with traffic, or with the accident. So now we all know how this goes. You have to call the police, get the police report. They come, takes a while. Fire truck comes, ambulance comes. It's just protocol with the accident like that. Your car's totaled, airbags deployed, everything. You have to call insurance, all of this stuff. So, when you're in an accident, it takes hours. and then tow truck comes. It's just a lot, and it's just so exhausting. It's so much energy. Think about this. If you've ever been in a very serious accident, or even just a little bumper, a fender bender, as they call it, it's like, oh, really? That type of thing. You just roll your eyes because you know, and you're kind of anticipating all that energy that needs to be used for this. And just trying to remember everything that you need to do, it takes a lot of energy too. So again, it sometimes it is hard to find the positive side of things like that when it comes to being in an accident. But I think the positive thing is using this example: the person's okay, you're okay, etc., and you're getting it taken care of. Okay. So again, using those two examples: going to work, being in traffic, using all your energy, taking out all your negative energy on a coworker or whoever, and or you're speeding, you get into an accident, and now you have all this um, energy that you're using, negative energy, because of this big situation that just happened that you caused, honestly, with driving and speeding. Okay. So to wrap all of this up, and the reason why I put this episode together was because when it comes to business or even just life, but I'm gonna definitely focus on business, you need to make sure that you are protecting your energy and also understanding like your stress levels and what you're giving your energy, because there's going to be times when you're in business and things are not working the way you want them to, or you may have this idea or this part of your business that you want to expand and it's not taking off the way it is, or you are a successful business and for the last 5 months you've been booming, making that money, getting that revenue. And then for the last 3 months, it's like, what happened? Did I run out of customers? Why is it so slow? There's a lot of things that are just out of your control, but there are a lot of things that you can control. And that's being positive, that's being optimistic, that's really navigating and managing your energy levels as well when it comes to business. So that's why I put together this episode for you all, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you can resonate with it. Feel free to rewind and listen to it. Incorporate other examples that I incorporated when it came to energy. Research those individuals if you don't know about their stories. That will be very helpful and encouraging for you as well. But thank you again, for watching and for listening. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment as well and share. And thank you again for watching, and always remember to follow your dreams.